I run it. Do I have it running?
I don't know.
Okay, the time code is running, so I think I have it running. So if I
Okay.
can frame this correctly. Okay.
All right.
So this is Robert Watson interviewing Julie Malloy for the Journalism 7200 class. So question one: what challenges lie in merging with another school district, which shall remain unnamed, particularly one that may lag in funding and scores?
Okay. Well, in my mind, I always go straight to the children, as the problems for them, how the children will acclimate best and what their problems are. We do the best we can with them. I mean, we know that they're going to maybe need a little bit of remediation, and so I put them in a classroom with teachers who are good at that and kind of start them off in the right spot. I also kept a lot of them together so that they didn't come in by themselves. So, and I don't know how much background your audience knows about the district that shall remain nameless, but they were unhappy about coming. So I had to worry about their attitudes when they got here, because a kid who doesn't want to learn, who is angry, is not going to be open to remediation, even if it's best form. But that's how I handle it to start with.
Okay, well, thank you. I don't know how much they know about Arkansas issues.
Okay.
Since this is a class that may or may not even be familiar with Memphis educational
Okay.
issues. So,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
but in this particular case, or in a case such as this,
Still the consolidation issue? Okay.
the district issue, the merging of the other district with your district.
Right, okay.
Were you? You said you were going to try remediation. So are you given a strategy to deal with that, or are you handed the situation and saying it's up to you how you want to deal with it?
I saw their test scores. I knew I knew the paperwork on the students. I had seen who's struggling, who is setting the bar at that school. There were, I think, 19 fourth graders and maybe 21 fifth graders coming. So I knew to look into. Am I moving out of your screen?
No,
Okay.
my hand keeps
Shaking around.
yeah, tripod
I don't know how
would
you
really
can keep something like that still anyhow.
be.
But I knew a little bit about them on paper, what their needs were. Like, this is a strong math student but weak in literacy, or this student's struggling in writing, or whatever. So I kind of knew. I had a really good writing teacher here who I knew would meet the children where they were. I didn't worry about the strategies, instructional strategies. I kind of put the teachers on that because
Okay.
that's their expertise. I do have two specialists. I have a literacy specialist and a math specialist who work with low students, so they knew exactly who these children were. And we don't like pulling them out of class, especially during academics, but we did pull those specialists had their names so that they could touch base with them, help them, make sure things were going well. We do still have about 4 or 5 of them that are struggling. I don't know that would have been, they probably struggled if they hadn't come here.
So you had some room to make prior arrangements before
Yes, I did.
the actual.
I
Okay.
did. At the end of last year, I knew before
Okay.
school was out. I sent my experts, my specialists, over to their school to meet with the teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so I was able to get some homework done before summer last
Okay.
year. So
that was probably a good help.
it
then,
was very
'cause-
much a help. Yes, I think so. The only thing I didn't get that I needed, in hindsight, a lot of these kids are related. I put cousins in the
Oh,
same
that's
room.
interesting.
They don't have the same last name. I didn't know they were cousins. I mean, so I've got kids
How
who
could you
shouldn't have
know?
been
Yeah.
together who ended up together because I didn't know to separate them. But that's not about academics.
No, but it could impact academics.
It
so.
does impact academics.
So-
That's right. Everything impacts academics.
Okay.
Yes, everything. External factors that the kids live.
That makes for a great interview topic for another time.
It's the
That's it.
truth. I mean, what can I say?
But okay, I have to also ask about this. If the NCLB is reauthorized, because it's in committee now, the EISA bill, whatever the actual name of it is called,
Okay.
is there anything off the top of your head that you would say change or toss?
How do I diplomatically answer this question and remain professional at the same time?
You could say, I can't
There
answer
is
that question without
there's-
remaining diplomatic.
Sure,
or
I can't answer that question
Okay.
honestly without looking like a sour grapes person. There's no way. Children are left behind at birth. No child left behind. It's an admirable goal. It truly is. I wish it were possible. There are some children, literally, we have multi-handicapped children who are having to sit for this test. Because we have multi-handicapped facilities here and in all of our buildings, and you're only allowed to not test 1%, and it's a crying shame. We have some children who will never meet that cutoff.
So your first tip would be separate the testing areas.
Somehow you've got to allow for more than 1%. It's an admirable goal. I don't fault the government for trying to bring everybody up. It's something we've been put forth with an impossible job. The schools have been given an impossible job to do. We're doing the best we can. I feel good about the progress we've made. We've almost hit the ceiling with it because they're just children who are going to struggle. That's why we have special ed programs. That's why we have IDEA, because these children have rights. That's the individuals with disabilities.
Okay.
We have that.
Okay.
That whole thing is set up because as adults, they're unable to do the same things in life that a person their age would, whether it's a wheelchair, a physical disability, or a mental disability, but it's just beyond the control of the school.
I didn't even know that myself. So
Yeah, well, think about it. I mean, it's just...
It makes perfect sense. You just don't ever think about that as far as the...
And another woman said, I listened to this expert who was saying, compared No Child Left Behind to, the goals are admirable, but said it's the same as asking a community to completely wipe out crime. Crime will stop.
That's a
We
good,
will be 100% crime-free after 2013.
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful goal, but there still are those other factors that are going to inhibit or prohibit everybody conforming to whatever the two admirable goals are. So, your journalism
good
class,
short answer.
who may not understand the whole, because they're not living it.
Right.
Educators are living this. It's a tough job.
Okay. Well, my final question is, what sort of challenges does your own school face in the coming year?
Probably, I'm going to say No Child Left Behind and the standards.
That's fine.
The fact that No Child Left Behind, we're moving up a notch. I believe we're going to be at 84% next year, and I just don't know. I mean, my teachers feel beat down. They feel exhausted from their efforts are at 100%. You can't give any more than that, and just the increased
More than
expectations.
100%.
You just
yeah.
can't. So that's the way it is.
Okay.
That's my biggest problem is keeping the teacher morale up under the strain of No Child Left Behind. That'll be my answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
That was probably longer than 3 minutes. Are you going to be able to
This is terrific.